What's up, football fans? Welcome to Tim Reynolds Show's 2024 NFL season predictions, as I'm going division by division and picking what I think will be each team's record by the end of the season. And on this episode, we're going over the NFC South, and we're starting it off with the reigning defending NFC South champions, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And guys, we're going to start out with the rankings from this team a year ago. As we see on offense, they ranked 17th in passing offense and 32nd in rushing offense. So dead last in the league. So new offensive coordinator Liam Cohen is definitely going to have to get this rushing attack improved from a year ago in order for them to get back into the playoffs. And as far as their defensive rankings from a year ago, we see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers ranked 29th in passing defense and 5th in rushing defense. So one of the best rushing defenses in all the league, but they have to get better in the secondary if they want a chance to compete in this tough NFC conference, especially in the playoffs. Now, as far as their record in the 2024 NFL season, Tim Reynolds Show has the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going 11-6 this year. Now, I'm not just saying this because I'm a Buccaneer fan, diehard. I am saying this because I think that this roster is so underrated, and I think a lot of experts out there don't realize the camaraderie that this team is going to have, especially on the offensive side of the ball, plus all the young people that we have on our defensive side of the ball. I really think get another year to mesh all together, and with veteran linebacker Levante David coming back, and one of the best safeties in all of football, and Antoine Winfield getting that long-term extension, I really do think you're going to see this defense much more improved, but you're looking at an offense that definitely could be top 15 in the league easily, in my opinion. Now, as far as their offense and defensive MVPs for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on offense, I have running back Rachaad White. Why? Because they were dead last year in rushing offense. So in order for this team to really move where they want to go and get where they want to get, they need the running game to be first and foremost the best thing about this offense. And with all the playmakers they have at the wide receiver position, plus tight end Cade Otton, who is definitely one of the most up-and-coming tight ends in all of football, I think Rachaad White is going to play a big role and be the offensive MVP for this Tampa Bay Buccaneers squad. Now, as far as their defensive MVP for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I got defensive lineman Vita Vea, the veteran that knows how to really stuff the run on any given Sunday. I think this guy is definitely going to step his game up and show why he is going to be the MVP of the defense. Now, I almost gave it to either Levante David or Antoine Winfield Jr., but when it all comes down to it, anytime that this Buccaneers defense can stop the run, which they've been very, very good at for the past few seasons, I do think that they are going to be a competitive team when they're able to do that. So that's why I have defensive lineman Vita Vea as my defensive MVP for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, we're moving on to our next team in the NFC South, which is going to be the New Orleans Saints. Now, last year, this team had a really up and down year after they had a chance to win the division near the end of the year, but couldn't get the job done. As far as their rankings from a year ago, we see the New Orleans Saints on offense ranked 11th in passing offense and ranked 21st in rushing offense. So a middle of the pack type team on offense there that they're hoping to hopefully keep that consistency going or improve on the offensive side of the ball. Now, as far as their defensive records, the rankings from a year ago, we see the passing defense was ranked 10th in the league, and the rushing defense was ranked 22nd, which is not really like this New Orleans Saints team, who's always been really stingy against the run. But we see last season they were a lot better against the pass than they actually were against the run, so we'll have to see what happens this upcoming season. But as far as their record in the 2024 NFL season, Tim Reynolds Show has the New Orleans Saints going with a record of 7-10 this upcoming year. I think head coach Allen is on the hot seat, and this is going to be a guy who's really going to have to watch out for his job at the end of the year, because I just think with the roster that the New Orleans Saints have and the schedule they have ahead of them, they are not really looking at a lot of wins this year. But anything can happen in the NFL, but right now I just think that the Saints are kind of really in that middle of a rebuilding phase and don't have all the pieces that they're going to need in order to be a Super Bowl contending team. Now, as far as their offense and defensive MVPs for this upcoming year, on offense I got running back Alvin Kamara, who should step his game up after dealing with some injuries the past couple of seasons that's really hampered him at being the all-pro type running back that he knows he can be. And as far as their defensive MVP, you know I got to go with defensive end Cam Jordan, one of the best defensive linemen still in all of football, as he's looking to not only get the franchise record in sacks if he hasn't got it already, he's looking to get his sack total up there and one of the top-ranked defensive linemen of all time. But you got to watch out for this guy, as I think he's going to to be their MVP on defense as far as the New Orleans Saints in 2024. But we're moving on to the next team in the NFC South, which is none other than the Carolina Panthers, one of the worst teams in the league last year. As we start out with their rankings from a year ago, we see the Carolina Panthers on offense ranked 32nd, dead last in passing offense, which if you can't pass the ball in this league, guys, you're not winning games whatsoever. And as far as their rushing offense from a year ago, they ranked 20th, but hey, everyone was really focusing on the run because the pass wasn't a threat whatsoever. So hopefully with Dave Canales as their new head coach this year, the Carolina Panthers are really hoping to improve this offense, which, hey, it can't go nowhere but up, right? So as far as their defensive rankings from a year ago, the Carolina Panthers ranked 3rd in passing defense, but ranked 23rd in rushing defense. Surprisingly, they were actually pretty good against the pass, but teams were able to run the ball all over them and control the clock, but they still had a 23rd ranking in the rushing defense, so this defense really has some room to grow and could help them be competitive in this NFC South division. But as far as the record for the Carolina Panthers in the 2024 NFL season, Tim Reynolds Show has the Carolina Panthers going 6-11. This is improvement from a season ago, and they're in a rebuilding phase, so all they're really hoping right now is if you're a Carolina Panthers fan, you're hoping that quarterback Bryce Young can really get things going with this offense, get some consistency, and hopefully the defense can sort of carry this team to about 6 wins this year, which I think is probably going to be the top of their hopeful win totals this upcoming year. It's going to be a struggle bus season for the Carolina Panthers. Now, as far as their offense and defensive MVPs, on offense, I got rookie wide receiver Xavier Leggett. I think this guy is going to be a baller for this offense, and as long as Bryce Young can stay upright and throw the ball, I think that this guy is going to be his main target. And as far as their defensive MVP for the Carolina Panthers, I got outside linebacker, homegrown Jadeveon Clowney, who comes to the Carolina Panthers this offseason on a 1-year deal, and I think he's really going to help improve this pass rush for a defense that was not very good a year ago. Now, guys, we're moving on to the last team in the NFC South, and is the ATL Falcons. That's right. The Atlanta Falcons are getting all the hype right now in the NFC South, but we're going to start with their rankings from a year ago. Now, the Atlanta Falcons ranked 23rd in passing offense last year, but ranked 9th in rushing offense, as Atlanta's always been one of those teams who can run the ball very, very well, at least under previous head coach Arthur Smith. Now, with new head coach, former Tampa Bay Buccaneers head coach Raheem Morris at the helm, I really do think that this defense is going to be the one to help carry this team for the Atlanta Falcons. Now, as far as their rankings last year, on defense, the Atlanta Falcons ranked 8th against the pass and 20th against the rush. So, the top 20 defense, if you will, close to top 15. I think Raheem Morris is definitely going to improve that this year, but they really didn't look like they were going to be a good defense this year until the additions of 2 veteran players. Free agent safety Justin Simmons, All-Pro, signs with the Atlanta Falcons, and the Atlanta Falcons also traded for Pro Bowl pass rusher Matthew Judon from the New England Patriots. So with those 2 key additions, I really do think that head coach Raheem Morris is going to have these boys ready to go and play on Sundays. But as far as my prediction for the Atlanta Falcons 2024 NFL season record, I have the Atlanta Falcons going 10-7 this year. So 1 win right under the Bucs. You can maybe even call it even with them depending on how the season series goes against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But with Kirk Cousins now at the helm for this Atlanta Falcons offense, I do think they're going to be much improved on that side of the ball. And with Matthew Judon and Justin Simmons with Bates in the back there secondary, I do think that this defense is going to be well more improved than it was a year ago. But borderline playoff team, I don't think they'll win the division this year. I got my Tampa Bay Buccaneers doing that. But as far as their offense and defensive MVPs, you know, on offense for the Atlanta Falcons, I had to go with Kirk Cousins. This guy's definitely going to go ahead and show Atlanta fans what they've been missing the past 3 years. After being one of the best offensive lines in all of football the past 3 years, now they get a veteran savvy quarterback behind it, and as long as they can keep him upright and he's recovered from his Achilles tear injury from last year that cost him the end of last season, I think Kirk Cousins is going to be the Atlanta Falcons offensive MVP. Now, as far as their defensive MVP, I got recently acquired pass rusher Matthew Judon as their defensive MVP. Why? This team has had had no pass rush whatsoever the last 3 seasons, and now getting Matthew Judon, a premier pass rusher in this league from the Patriots, means that this guy's going to wreak havoc in backfields and really help this defensive line, and I think he's going to be the Atlanta Falcons defensive MVP. And this has been your 2024 NFL season predictions from Tim Reynolds Show as I covered the NFC South. Please like and subscribe to the channel and leave some comments on what you guys think about how your teams are going to do, or what you think about what I've said about these teams and how I think they're going to end up this upcoming year. Please leave some comments and let me know what you think. And thank you guys so much for supporting this sports channel. And please like and subscribe to get more football content and sports entertainment right here on Tim Reynolds Show. Peace out, everybody. Have a great day.